catch me if I fall.
Good evening and welcome to the live coverage of Scotland against England in the 150th heritage anniversary of the oldest rivalry in international football. We're at Hampden Park, the home of Scottish football, where England come up north and are looking to upset the apple cart with Scotland in pure joyous form at the moment under Steve Clarke, on the verge of qualifying for Euro 2024. Alongside this game tonight, we have 9 Euro 2024 qualifiers, including that key one for Scotland, Norway against Georgia. A draw in that game, and Scotland will be heading to Germany next summer. Well, the national anthems are ringing around Hampden Park, and Flower of Scotland is being billowed around this stadium by the massive crowd that is in attendance. The Tartan Army have certainly made themselves known and shown tonight, and are all ready to support their team once again. They've done an incredible job, with Scotland winning all 5 of their Euro 2024 qualifiers so far. This is only a friendly, but it's a friendly that has so much rivalry, so much pressure, and so much on the line for both teams. Just hearing the final pieces of Flower comes to an end. Applause rings around Hampden Park. The players shaking each other's hands before a feisty game, no doubt. Let's have a look and see who's facing who tonight. Well, Steve Clarke makes no changes to the team that won away in Cyprus. Angus Gunn starts in goal. A back 5 of Aaron Hickey, Ryan Porteous, Jack Hendry, Kieran Tierney and Andrew Robertson, the captain. A midfield 3 of Scott McTominay, John McGinn and Callum McGregor, with Billy Gilmore in that attacking role. Ahead of him, is Shay Adams. For England, Aaron Ramsdale starts in goal. Kyle Walker, Lewis Dunk, Mark Guehi and Kieran Trippier in a back 4. A midfield 3 of Declan Rice, Calvin Phillips and Jude Bellingham, with a front 3 of Phil Foden, Marcus Rashford and captain Harry Kane. The benches for both teams look like this. For Steve Clarke's bench, there is Xander Clark, Robbie McCrory, Scott McKenna, Nathan Patterson, John Suter, Stuart Armstrong, Ryan Christie, Lewis Ferguson, Ryan Jack, Kenny McLean, Lyndon Dykes, Kevin Nisbet and Lawrence Shankland as well. For England, Sam Johnston, Jordan Pickford, Levi Colwill, Harry Maguire, Fikayo Tomori, Ben Chilwell, Eberechi Eze, Conor Gallagher, Jordan Henderson, James Maddison, Bukayo Saka, Callum Wilson and Eddie Nketiah, all on the bench. The key change for England, and one that will be made a lot of, one, there's no Harry Maguire, which I'm sure a lot of England fans will have differing opinions about, depending on your kind of beliefs on Harry Maguire. And of course Jordan Pickford not starting in goal. That's another interesting one as well. Of course, seemed to have a lot of support from Gareth Southgate over the years, Jordan Pickford. But before kick-off, we will have a minute's silence to remember a few key figures that have passed away as of recent times. We will have a moment's silence. Referee's whistle goes, and that's the end of the moment's silence there. Just before kickoff, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. We are at 19,600 at the moment. The subscribers. We're on the road to 20,000. Any help to get us there would be greatly appreciated. Great to have you with us here tonight. Scotland will get us underway then for this international friendly. We're just awaiting the final checks from the officials before we do get this 150th anniversary heritage game underway. These two, the oldest rivalry in international football. The first game between them back in November 1872. We're in 2023, 150 years later, and the rivalry still, to this day, is as strong as it always was. If not, probably stronger. And we're underway. Billy Gilmore kicks it from the centre circle and gets us going for this international friendly. Over tonight, we will keep you up to date with all the games in and around the 7:45 kickoffs from the European Championship. All 9 games kicking off at 7:45 this evening. You can see the scores down the left-hand side of your screen. They will be updating as soon as there are goals, and I will explain those and who scored them and what is happening in all of those. England in possession at the back. Ramsdale under early pressure. Mark Guehi has to go out to Trippier, who can clear it down the line. A bit of a misplaced pass from Rashford, but it does work its way forward. Intercepted, then won back by Calvin Phillips. Now down the right is Kyle Walker. A few boos from the Scottish fans here tonight. Down that right hand side, here is Walker. Lovely ball, Harry Kane in behind, but the flag will go up against him. Nonetheless, the Scotland goalkeeper Angus Gunn was quick off his line to get the catch on that ball. Now, of course, Steve Clarke has got absolutely everything out of his players in this recent qualifying campaign. 5 wins from 5, a record for Scotland. They had never won all 4 of their qualifying game, all 4 of their opening qualifying games. Well, they've extended that to 5 with that 3-0 win over Cyprus on Friday night. They'll be hoping to add a win against England to the roster of their recent winning and really good success in European competition. England fresh off a 1-1 draw with Ukraine earlier this week, and they'll be hoping to bounce back to winning ways. Although it is an international friendly, it is still an important game. Here's Walker. Breaks down the right hand side up against Robertson, and Robertson deflected out and will be a corner to England on the right hand side. Good covering there from Andrew Robertson. And we will, of course, anybody that is a Scotland fan or anyone that's waiting for the Scotland result, remember, Scotland can qualify for Euro 2024 tonight if Norway against Georgia ends in a draw and Spain win against Cyprus. But more about Norway and Georgia's result than anything. We'll keep an eye on that one. It is still goalless in that one. Just a couple of minutes gone. England have a corner on the right hand side. The referee just dealing with a few things in the box as the whistle goes. Readying for the corner. Just seeing a bit of a battle between Bellingham and McGinn here. Whipped corner, back post. Rice is there. Rice to lift it in to find it back to where it came from. Gunn with the punch. Kept alive by Walker. Phillips has to go back to Kyle Walker again. And now Declan Rice. England inside Scotland's half. Phillips. Rice. And has to go backwards. Once again, England keep the possession. Well, Scotland's last domestic win over England was back in 1999. Domestic win. European win against England was back in 1999 in the European Euros qualifier playoff, where they won 1-0. However, England won 2-0 in the first leg, so they went through on goal difference, or on aggregate scoreline. England. That was the last time Scotland won against them. Since then, England and Scotland played each other, of course, in the most recent Euros in 2021, which Scotland got a 0-0 draw out of that game in Group D at Wembley. Really good result for them. Here's Tierney. Down the left-hand side. Walker to head it away. Brought down by Shay Adams, but he's battling with Phillips. Phillips wins the challenge and will win the free kick. Calvin Phillips for that challenge from Shay Adams trying to retrieve the ball. So free kick England. You does see in a replay of it Jude Bellingham challenge on Aaron Hickey a bit earlier. It's a naughty one, but nothing done from the referee there. And we have a few goals to tell you about. 2 goals, indeed, to tell you about. We have a goal in the game between Malta and North Macedonia. It's North Macedonia that have taken the lead in that one. And also in Group F, Belgium have taken the lead against Estonia. They lead by 1-0. So early goals in those ones. The North Macedonia goal came from Eljif Elmas. And Belgium's goal came from Jan Vertonghen. Trippier. Down the left-hand side. Running onto it is Rashford. Rashford up against Porteous. And that will be another corner to England. On the left-hand side this time. It's a really good move. Really good running behind from Marcus Rashford. Off the edge of Porteous. Nicely fed through ball by Kieran Trippier. Down the left flank. Rashford makes the run off Porteous and tries to come back inside on his left, and Porteous sees it out for the corner. So Kieran Trippier is coming over to take this England corner. Right-footed in swinging corner it will be. Kieran Trippier, the set-piece master at Newcastle. Right-footed whip ball, headed away. Brought back to Kieran Trippier. We'll go again. Phillips with the ball in. Back post and headed behind by Aaron Hickey. Behind for another England corner. So still 0-0 in this international friendly, this 150th anniversary heritage game between Scotland and England here at Hampden Park, and England have another corner. It's Phil Foden that's going over to take this one on the right hand side. Another in-swinging corner it will be. Foden whips it in, right across and over the bar. I think that was Lewis Dunk in there, and he headed it over the bar and behind for a goal kick to Scotland. Just seeing the replay of an earlier chance. Mark Guehi went down in the box, but nothing doing from the referee there. It's nice play from England again. Bellingham. Now out to the right hand side was Walker. Battling was Kieran Tierney. And Tierney goes down. Walker wins the throw in though. Bit of a feisty exchange there between Kieran Tierney and Kyle Walker. Tierney did come in and nick the ball off Walker. Walker was trying to win it back and kind of elbowed the back of Kieran Tierney. Well, Tierney felt so. The referee and the officials disagreed. I would say there's not much in that for me. So 0-0. And England have a throw-in, right-hand side. Thrown back to Calvin Phillips, who has to go all the way back to Lewis Dunk and Mark Guehi. Of course, not the usual centre-back pairing for England, of course. There's always a Harry Maguire lurking in the England centre-back role. Not tonight. On the bench tonight, Harry Maguire. Lewis Dunk and Mark Guehi, Crystal Palace and Brighton defenders, respectively. 2 very high-performing centre-backs at the moment for their clubs. Guehi and Dunk certainly deserved a role for their international team, at the very least. What a game to get that chance in. Harry Kane coming deep. Plays it to Bellingham. Bellingham back to Kane. Now trying to find Rashford, but it just evades Marcus Rashford. That switch ball from Kane. Too much pace on it, and that will run for the throw into Scotland on this near side. Well, of course, we have started something new here on LFS. If you haven't noticed, over this weekend we've had a few more NFL games starting the new season of the National Football League, the American football. Something we'll look to continue here. Looking forward to that coming up this weekend. I'll tell you more about that later in the game. Here's Gilmore. Now to John McGinn for Scotland. McTominay. Porteous. Porteous down the right is Hickey. Back to Ryan Porteous. Has to go back across to Jack Hendry. Now through to McTominay. And Porteous again. Quick football from Scotland, but Porteous's ball is cut out by Rice. Now picked up by Rashford, trying to find Bellingham. And Bellingham is taken out there by Callum McGregor, so that'll be a free kick to England. Good evening, Austin. Welcome into the chat. Nice to see you. I'd love to know who you're supporting tonight. I'm expecting a deep rivalry here between the fans. Rashford goes back to Guehi. Just shy of 10 minutes gone here at Hampden Park. Scotland 0, England 0. England having a few early corners, a few early set pieces, but nothing of in terms of great chances. That's a giveaway though from Walker, and allows Andy Robertson to win the throw-in. That's good anticipation from the Liverpool left back, and of course the Scotland captain. Tierney to take the throw-in. McGregor, Tierney has to go back to Hendry. Now Porteous. McTominay. McGregor. Now Porteous. Tierney again. Tierney has to go backwards. And we'll go back to his keeper, Angus Gunn. Austin says supporting England today. 4-0 is your prediction. Interesting. Interesting indeed. And still no goals in those Group A ties between Norway and Georgia and Spain and Cyprus. Both still goalless after around 12 minutes gone in those ones. Scotland will get a free kick here. Angus Gunn did come out and try and clear the ball. It was a ball over the top by England. It was Lewis Dunk targeting the ball over the top. Rashford made the run. He was offside, Rashford. And Angus Gunn came out to clear the ball, but the offside was given, so that will be a Scotland free kick inside their own half. Dan says Scotland he's supporting tonight. Let us know who you're supporting. Get involved in the chat. Read out a few comments, a few chats if you're getting involved. Who you're liking, who you're wanting. Where is Stones, says Austin. I have no idea. John Stones is not on the bench tonight, not involved. Is John Stones? I think, was he injured? John Stones, I think recently he was injured for Manchester City. That's a nice ball over the top. Harry Kane to try and chase, but that's really good covering by Ryan Porteous. Breaks out and cuts off that pass to Harry Kane. Now Robertson down the left. It's a lovely ball through to Shea Adams. Adams is through here. McTominay in the box. Adams tries to cut it back, and Robertson trying to get involved. England want a flag, and the offside flag does eventually come, but it took a long time for the linesman to flag that. See it again. It's a lovely ball from Tierney. Yeah, he's very, very late. Shea Adams goes very early. The ball down the line is just a bit too late, and Adams was offside. But it was a nice move by Scotland. They'd find the space that they could run into. Those quick balls down the line seem to be the positive from Scotland. We have another goal in Group C, which is, of course, England's group. And we had an early goal, North Macedonia scoring, but now we have the team that held England at the weekends are now behind. Italy are leading Ukraine by 1-0 in that one in Group C. David Fratesi with the goal for Italy, which puts Italy up into second place ahead of Ukraine with a game in hand as it stands. Trippier with the clearance. Rashford plays it into the middle, linking up with Foden, but that's cleared away by Gilmour. Now Hickey. Hickey has to retreat from the England pressure. Porteous. Into the middle is Gilmour. Under pressure. Nice pass. Finds Tierney. Tierney out to the left for Robertson. Nice movement from Scotland. Robertson now across. Trying to find Shea Adams, cleared away. Tried to win it back, did Scotland. Gilmour battling, and McTominay also, but the free kick will be given to Scotland for that foul by Declan Rice. So free kick to Scotland in the middle. Really good energy from Scotland. It was Callum McGregor that actually made the run, and it was a foul on him by Actually, the second one wasn't a foul. They'd given a handball against Declan Rice, so the challenge on McGregor wasn't fouled. Or he wasn't fouled, it wasn't penalised against England. It was the handball off Declan Rice that was penalised. So Scotland will have a free kick inside the England half. As you can see on that map there on your screen, we're around about 31 yards from goal. The distance, I would say. Andy Robertson and Billy Gilmore over this one for Scotland. Very good at their set pieces, Scotland. Very dangerous from their set pieces. Austin says, what is your prediction for today? I think it's going to be a tight game. I don't think it's going to be a free scoring game. I think these two teams will give their all. I think Scotland will get a good result out of this. I'm predicting a draw out of this one, but a win against England will probably only be a good result for Scotland. Anyway, free kick being taken. Robertson to take, left-footed, whips it into the box, headed on, Porteous battling, still alive. Phillips tries to half clear it, and then Walker follows up with a long ball down the pitch. The threatening ball by Andy Robertson, who's under pressure from Harry Kane, and gets it back to his keeper just in time. Angus Gunn, who fires it out for a throw-in to take the pressure off Scotland defensively there. 15 minutes gone here at Hampden Park. Scotland 0, England 0. Just seeing the replay, Robertson's ball's whipped in straight onto the head of Porteous, but did enough was, I think that was Lewis Dunk there, was defending. It bounced straight up into the air and Calvin Phillips half cleared it. Then followed up by Kyle Walker to clear it. It was a poor touch there by the said Kyle Walker. Scotland get a throw-in. Cheap throw-in to give away for England there. Robertson linking up with Tierney. Tierney, lovely link up with Robertson again. Robertson. Now McGinn on that left flank. John McGinn. Nice quick feet trying to find Robertson, but the ball's just a bit overhit, and that will run for an England goal kick. Underrated live stream right here. Thanks very much indeed, Austin. Great to have you with us, and great to have your support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already, with so much more football to come. As you can see, we just scheduled all of our streams for this week. Earlier this afternoon, we've another domestic football returns as well this weekend. Some big games to come. We're looking forward to those. Nice take from McTominay from the England goal kick. McTominay out to Tierney. McGinn trying to return the ball. McTominay picks it up in the middle again. Gilmore battling. Nice quick feet. McTominay just beating off the ball there. And now Rashford on the break, trying to find Kane, but that's misplaced and goes back to Scotland in possession. A lot of turnovers in possession here. Keeping an eye on the players. It's switching. Scotland have the possession. England have the possession. It's switching quite between them quite a bit. Very high energy, very high tempo game. That's what we like to see. Ryan Porteous on the ball for Scotland. Goes back to Gunn. We have a goal in the game in Group A. We'll tell you about that in a second. Gunn clears his lines. Flick on by Hickey. Trying to find Shea Adams, but cleared away by Gurhey. Nice first header by Porteous. Brought down by Phillips for England. First time ball over the top by Phillips. Finds Rashford. Rashford tries to open up for the space. Plays it across and Foden skies it behind for a goal kick. A big chance there for England, but it's fired over the bar and behind for a goal kick to Scotland. A wasted opportunity from England. It was a nice ball. Rashford seems to have the space on that left-hand side, running off the defenders, making those moves in behind the Scottish defence. He just holds it in the 18-yard box, squares it for Phil Foden around about central of the goal, around 15 yards from goal, and fires it over the bar for the goal kick. We do have a goal in Group A, and that has come in the game between Spain and Cyprus. So it is still goalless in that game between Norway and Georgia, but it's Spain that have the lead against Cyprus, which also helps Scotland, by the way. Spain 1-0 up there. It's Gavi with the goal, as I mentioned. So the permutations for Scotland. Doesn't matter what happens in the Spain game tonight. Norway and Georgia, if it ends in a draw, Norway and Georgia, Scotland will qualify for Euro 2024. If either Norway or Georgia win, it will then be left to the October international break for Scotland to win their next game to qualify. but Scotland are literally on the verge of qualification for Euro 2024. Their second consecutive Euros. A real massive step forward for Steve Clarke and his team. Incredible it would be for Scotland, who've been in a few dismal years, a few dismal decades more like it. What live stream are you doing next? Well, our next stream here on LFS, so this is Tuesday, so our next stream is on Friday, Friday evening, where we will have Southampton against Leicester in the Championship. That will be followed by action as well over the night. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. Rashford in the box. Rashford trying to find it forward. Bellingham looking to get the penalty, but the flag will go up for offside against Marcus Rashford. I talked about running in behind the defences. Scotland trying to play that offside trap. It worked out that time. He made the run too early. Aaron Hickey spotted it right away. The flag took a long time to go up. Rashford had enough time to get the ball to Bellingham, who was looking for a penalty. That was never a penalty on Jude Bellingham there. Never a penalty, but he was offside anyway. Was Marcus Rashford, so comes to nothing. 20 minutes gone, 0-0. So we will have Southampton against Leicester. We also have more NFL action coming up this week. No action on Saturday for us, as I'm away doing an Irish League game on Saturday, if you're ever so interested. But we do have action on Sunday. 3 games on Sunday for you. Bournemouth against Chelsea in the Premier League. Everton against Arsenal in the Premier League as well. 2 games. And then Jets against the Cowboys in the NFL at 9:25 on Sunday evening. You can see all the streams all scheduled at the moment. We have all of our streams scheduled. 6 streams between now and Monday all scheduled on the channel. 3 Premier League games in there as well, if you're ever so interested in following us for those. Another ball over the top by England. Foden making the run this time. The flag doesn't go up against Foden. He keeps the ball on the right flank. Rice linking up with Foden again. Back to Rice. Now Bellingham. Bellingham with space. Bellingham trying to find it to Foden. Does so. Back to Rice. Scotland have it covered quite well. Closing off those spaces really well, Scotland, at the moment. Second goal in the game between Belgium and Estonia. Belgium have taken a 2-goal lead in that one. The second goal scored by Arsenal forward Leandro Trossard in that one. 2-0 to Belgium in that group. McGregor wins it back for Scotland. McGinn. Now Gilmore, that's better from Scotland. Robertson back to Tierney. Across to not Porteous, Hendry. Now Porteous. Ball from Gilmore out of the back, trying to find Shea Adams, who was battling with Guehi, but Guehi won the challenge. And Lewis Dunk on the ball. Has to go backwards to Ramsdale. And Rice, playing it out from the back. Dunk under pressure. It's good play from England, though. They keep the possession. Austin says, what team do you support? My club team are Liverpool. My international team is as Ireland, of course. Fun says, hi Alphas. How's you? Who is Dunk? Lewis Dunk. Brighton defender. Of course, England defender, obviously, as well. How are you? I'm very good, Fun. Welcome into the chat. Thank you very much for joining us again. Great to have you with us. England in possession. Here's Kieran Trippier. Halfway through the first half. 23 minutes gone. It's flew by this first half so far. Haven't had a shot on target yet. 2 shots for England, but both are off target. Both off target shots from England so far. Scotland yet to get a shot on the board at all. But of course, this is the commemorative game, the 150th anniversary game of this rivalry. England and Scotland, 150 years. 1873. The very first game between these two. And the oldest rivalry in international football. England have the ball through Dunk. Now Rice. Nice play down the right hand side. Here's Walker. Kyle Walker trying to find an England shirt. Does get it through to Harry Kane, but has to go back to Rice. It's good pressure from Scotland Just closing the spaces off. Know when they need to press and when they don't. Rashford making the run to Bellingham. Bellingham with a cross. Bit high. That one falls to Walker. Walker back post. Walker with a strike. And will fire wide over the far post from Kyle Walker there. It's a nice move. It was Rashford linking up with Bellingham. Rashford spotted the run of Bellingham well onside. Made the run in behind Porteous again. Left footed cross from Bellingham. Bounced up to the back post. And Kyle Walker fires right across goal and behind for a goal kick. Better from England. But that's their key tactic so far. Making the runs in behind the Scottish defence. And those players that make the runs, getting players to run off them and put balls into the box. That's the key tactic from England. Wide players putting balls into the box. Scotland pick up the loose ball. McGinn. Now Robertson trying to cross it. First time that's put out for a throw-in to Scotland. They take it quickly. McGregor. Now Robertson. Tierney. Back to Gilmore. Now linking up with Tierney again. Billy Gilmore. It's good to see Billy Gilmore getting his opportunity. Of course, made that permanent move to Brighton from Chelsea. Hasn't looked back since. Really high performing, and that's why he's getting his involvement here tonight. Scotland just offside there. Flag went up. I think that was Shea Adams that was offside. There's another goal in Group A this evening. It's not in the Spain game, it's in the Norway game, and it's Norway that have taken the lead against Georgia. At the moment they lead by that 1-0. And I'll tell you about the ramifications for that for Scotland in a moment. It's Erling Haaland, the goal machine, the robot, is on the score sheet for Norway tonight. That means that if Norway win that game, or Georgia win that game, whatever team wins it, Scotland need a draw. But if Norway or Georgia win, Scotland will not qualify for Euro 2024 tonight. They will still probably qualify in the future, but they won't be confirmed tonight. They would need a draw for that to happen, Scotland. But at the moment, with Norway winning, that is not the case. So 0-0 here at Hampden Park. Scotland 0, England 0. Scotland moving down the right again. Here's Andy Robertson. Seems to be the real attacking press from the attacking threat from Scotland down that left. Who's cut out there, that ball to Tierney. England win it back. Bellingham now plays it down the right hand side. Walker's continued his run. Walker with a cross, looking for Kane, but the challenge, really good challenge by Jack Hendry. Puts it behind for the corner. Really quick one-touch football from England is fabulous to watch. The ball from Bellingham to spot that run of Walker down the right-hand side to feed that ball down is fabulous. And then the first-time cross from Kyle Walker to try and find Kane, which is cut out by Hendry. Corner England, fourth corner of the game for England. And Phil Foden to take this one on the right-hand side, in swinging left-footed corner to the back post. Headed away by Tierney. Rice picks up the loose ball. It's England in possession at the back here. Trippier. Now Declan Rice. Has to go back to Trippier again. And I think the news coming through here at Hampden Park, it's gone a bit flat at the moment. Maybe they're hearing the Norway news, with Norway winning at the moment. There'll be some party tonight if Scotland do qualify this evening. It'll be some atmosphere here at Hampden Park if Scotland do end up qualifying for Euro 2024 this evening. Well, their next international game in the Euro qualifier, Scotland, is against Spain, a team they beat here at Hampden Park earlier in the campaign. Well, they head to Spain for that return fixture in October, the next international break. Ramsdale on the ball. Dunk. Trying to play it forward, but it's cut out that time by Scotland. England will get the throw in though. Referee just telling Kyle Walker to retreat a bit. Trying to steal a few too many yards, according to the referee's point of view there. Kyle Walker. Ready to take this throw in. Taking his time. And goes back to his keeper. Ramsdale. Now to Trippier. On the left. Finds Rice. Has to go back to Trippier. Now back to Guehi. Guehi with a switch ball. Out to Walker on the right hand side. Kyle Walker. Infield to Phillips. Now goes back across to Guehi. Now Trippier on the left. Quick passing football from England. They're waiting for that opening to penetrate that Scotland team. Phillips. Now Walker again. There's a second goal in that Group C game between Italy and Ukraine. It's not the visitors that are getting back on level terms. It's Italy that have doubled their lead in that one. It's 2-0 now to Italy. Just scored that goal, so 2-0 Italy. I haven't got the goal scorer yet. I'll get you that in a moment. Bellingham on the ball for England, battling to two men, two Scottish players, but Scotland will get the free kick after that foul by Jude Bellingham on Billy Gilmore. 30 minutes gone, 0-0 here at Hampden Park. England have probably had the better. They've had the better of the possession, no doubt, and probably the better of the chances, but nothing too clear cut as of yet. Nothing that you can kind of say, oh, it's certainly a big chance missed. There's not been many of those, or any of those at the moment so far. Both teams holding up decent possession. That's nice from Scotland. Finds Robertson on the left, does McGregor. Has to go back to the Celtic captain, Callum McGregor. Now out to Tierney. Robertson's made his way into the box. Tierney with a cross. Too deep for anyone in there for Scotland, and that will run for the England throw-in. On the far side, Austin says, come on, Ukraine. It's a tough task for Ukraine at the moment. 2-0 down to Italy. In that one, Italy 2, Ukraine 0. Of course, that is England's group. It's David Fratesi again with that's 2 goals for him tonight. He scored both of Italy's goals. There was just a slight VAR check. That's why there was a bit of a delay on the information. But it was given. So Italy 2-0 to the good in that one. Fun says, have England qualified? No, not yet. They are 6 as it stands. They're 6 points clear of third place Ukraine. England have a chance in the box. Walker with a strike. Deflected and in. Into the back of the net, the deflection. Phil Foden linking up. And England do have the lead in this international friendly. And I think it's Phil Foden. There was a deflection in there somewhere. I don't know if that deflection was off Phil Foden, but it was Kyle Walker that took the strike, and then it was a deflection. See it again. England make the move down the right-hand side. Foden linking up with Bellingham. Bellingham returns the ball through. Rashford lays it off to Walker, and then Walker's strike deflects off Phil Foden and into the back of the Scottish net. No issues in terms of offside there. And England take the lead. Scotland 0, England 1. Really, really good from England. Really good build-up, and although it might be a bit of a fluke, a bit of luck from England, but it's a really good, well-crafted goal. Nice link-up from all the forward players, and that is certainly a team goal. England lead by goal to 0. The England fans now having their voice heard. Well, with Scotland conceding, there's more bad news for them at the moment. I'm just hearing that Norway could have a second goal. That could be more bad news for Scotland. We will confirm that in a moment. We know that Spain have got a second goal. They are 2-0 up now. And I think Norway are also joining them. 2-0 to Norway as well. I'll get the goal scorers for you just now. Spain scored through Mikel Merino, assisted by Nico Williams. Nico Williams assisting both of Spain's goals. 2-0 to Spain in that one. And Norway 2-0 up. And it's Martin Ødegaard, the Arsenal captain, who has got the second goal for Norway tonight. 2-0 to the Norwegians against Georgia. Which means, of course, with Norway winning, Scotland won't qualify tonight. Fun says, has England qualified? I'll actually tell you that now. I was about to answer that before the England goal. England have another attack here. Rice, Rashford. And they just held back at the moment. I'll keep an eye on this one actually. Rashford still going forward, linking up with Foden. Nice feet from Rashford. Beating off the ball. Phillips keeps it alive. Now out to Bellingham on the left. Bellingham looking to find the cross. Looking to find a bit of space. Flicks it back for Foden. Foden with the first time cross. Right across. Deflected. Cleared away and found in. As Jude Bellingham with the loose ball. Robertson can clear it. And Jude Bellingham is there to wrap it into the goal. It's a mistake by the Scotland captain Andy Robertson. And it's latched upon by the England midfielder Jude Bellingham. 2-0 England in quick succession. 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes. Fantastic move from England. They never held up. They never gave up the pressure on that Scotland defence. And Scotland couldn't clear their lines, couldn't get it away. It's the cross from Foden. It's half cleared by Tierney. Tierney can't clear it. It falls off Kane. It falls to Robertson. Robertson tries to clear it away, but he kind of side foots it and trying to clear it. He just kind of passes it to Jude Bellingham, and Bellingham just slots right through the ball. No doubt for Bellingham there, and he puts England 2-0 to the good in this international friendly. Scotland 0, England 2. There you go. That's the level of class that England possess. They don't need to fully bombard you. Give them 2 good chances, and they are certain to take them with the quality that they have on the pitch. So 2-0 to England. And it is 2-0 to Norway, as I mentioned a bit earlier on in that one. I finally can get to the... actually, no. Scotland might have a chance here. Tierney making the run right across. Shea Adams with a loose ball. Oh, cleared away. Calls of handball from Scotland. It will run for the throw-in. Scotland won a penalty. There's a bit of a delay here from the referee. We'll see this again. Tierney plays the ball across. Adams battling and then bounces off the hand of Mark Guehi. I don't think that's a penalty. It's a bit harsh if it was given. There's nothing much that Guehi can do there about that one. They are checking at VAR though. The decision is no penalty. They've just concluded that. So no penalty to Scotland. There's no doubt about that. Couldn't never have given a penalty there. No way. Adams keeps it alive for Scotland and wins the throw-in. The game's just come to life. Just as I was trying to answer a question in the chat. Sorry, Fun. I will get to your question in a moment. The game's just come to life. All out of nowhere. In these last 5 minutes. Porteous with this throw-in. Long throw into the box. Headed away by Bellingham. Or was it Rashford? Rashford. Now Kane. Linking up with Bellingham, who's on the run. Bellingham on the counter. Trying to play it across. Robertson there to cover and cleared away. Help out his defence on the retreat to stop that England counter. So England then. Have England qualified? No, they have not yet. As it stands, with Italy winning 2-0, and Ukraine, of course, losing 2-0 to Italy, Ukraine are in third on 7 points. England are in first on 13 points. They're 6 points clear. England win their next game, no matter what happens against Ukraine, they will be 6 points clear with 2 games to go and will be all but qualified. So there's still a bit more work to do for England, but they're certainly going to be there or thereabouts. Although there's a 3-way battle for second place in that group. Italy, Ukraine and North Macedonia are all on 7 points as it stands, with North Macedonia winning and Italy winning. All 3 of those teams on 7 points, battling for second. Could be a close battle in Group C come the end of the Euro qualifiers. So England 2-0 up here tonight, and we have a third goal in the game between Spain and Cyprus in Group A in Scotland's groups. Spain trying to catch Scotland after their very slow start to the campaign with that defeat to Scotland. And they'll be looking for their third win in 4 tonight. If they get that, they're on their way to that 3-0 up against Cyprus. And they're only now 6 points behind Scotland with a game in hand and still to play Scotland. Scotland could be under threat for first place still in that group. But it's Scotland on 15 points, Spain on 9. with a game in hand over everyone else in the group. So it looks like, as it stands, with Spain winning, no matter with Norway winning, it's still in the balance, but Spain and Scotland look the favourites at the moment to head through in Group A, but you never know. European qualifiers always throw up some shocks, as we know. There's always a few teams that never make it. That's always the way with international tournaments. There's always a big name that misses out in those ones. Lack of goals everywhere else this evening. In Group I, Israel 0, Belarus 0, Romania 0, Kosovo 0, and Switzerland 0, Andorra 0. That's all Group I games. And in Group F, Sweden and Austria is the other goalless game at the moment. That Spain goal has been disallowed. It's only 2-0 to Spain. So they thought they got a third, but that was disallowed. That one. So 5 minutes plus additional time to go in this first half. Scotland 0, England 2. Goals from Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham, having England 2 goals to the good in this commemorative international friendly game. That's nice from Shay Adams. Nice hold-up play. Gets it to McGinn. Scotland on the chase here for the first time in a while. McGregor. Gilmour. Now out wide to Hickey. Back to Gilmour. Now McGregor to Tierney. Infield to Shay Adams, who comes deeper. Nice physicality from Shay Adams, the Southampton centre forward, and that's a yellow card for one of the England players there for that foul on Shay Adams. Just see this again. Shay Adams winning the ball, and it's a late challenge by Calvin Phillips. It's a late one, and the few things boiling over, seems to be temperatures boiling over here at the moment. A few tempers involved. It was Jack Hendry and Jude Bellingham. No need for that. It wouldn't be a rivalry if there wasn't. Well, they've just been booked, Jack Hendry and Jude Bellingham, so a few bookings here. Hendry and Bellingham booked for a bit of pushing and shoving, and Calvin Phillips has been booked for that challenge on Shay Adams. So Scotland free kick, and 3 yellow cards later we're ready to take that Scotland free kick then. Calvin Phillips was arguing his case, but the referee felt that it was a late challenge, and a challenge that deemed a yellow card. The referee just sorting up the England defensive wall. Gilmour and Robertson over this free kick for Scotland. In a good position. We have a goal to tell you about in the Italy-Ukraine game. I'll tell you about that after this free kick. Robertson and Gilmour over this for Scotland. Gilmour leaves. Robertson takes, whips it across, and headed away by Lewis Duncan. It will go behind for a Scotland corner. It's a good header from Lewis Dunk to get it away. Scotland's first corner of the evening. On this right-hand side then, John McGinn over to take. Will be an in-swinging corner from the left-hand side. Told you, Scotland look really threatening from them set pieces. Or those set pieces, may I correct myself. So John McGinn then, corner, right-hand side, left-footed ball whipped in, right across, and England get it cleared through Kyle Walker. And that will run out of play for a Scotland throw. That goal in the Italy-Ukraine game, and it's Ukraine that have a goal back. 2-1. It's not quite done and dusted for Italy yet. Those two Fratesi goals has been carried back, and Andrei Yarmolenko for Ukraine has got a goal back in that one. Italy 2, Ukraine 1 in England's group, that is. I'm trying to think if England could qualify tonight. If Ukraine and England draw, or Italy draw, no, because it would. Actually, no, with North Macedonia winning, no. The only way England could probably get close to qualifying is if both North Macedonia and Italy lose. That's the only way, but that would mean Ukraine would be battling and be all confusion. Speaking of North Macedonia winning, it's easy for me to say, they're 2-0 up against Malta now in that one. 2-0 to North Macedonia. And it's Johan Manev with the goal there. Last minute of the 45 here at Hampden Park. England 2-0 to the good against Scotland in this 150th anniversary commemorative game. We will head to the live radio for the half-time analysis. At half-time, that is, of course, obviously. Once the first half comes to a close. Kyle Walker. Back to Lewis Dunk. Now Mark Gurhey. Right across to Walker on the right hand side. England just playing the ball about, managing the end of this first half, having the possession of the ball. Ramsdale with the ball at the back under pressure. Gets it wide for Dunk. Dunk makes the ball forward, but that will be won by Rashford. Bit too easy that for England, surely. Kane. Harry Kane. Looking for the switch ball, out to Walker. Walker on the right-hand side. We will have 1 additional minute at the end of this first half here at Hampden Park. Phillips. Now Mark Gurhey. Across to Lewis Dunk. Half-time in the game between Norway and Georgia. It's Norway 2 goals to the good. Martin Ødegaard and Erling Haaland with the goals in that one. Half-time in that one in Norway this evening. All the way back to Aaron Ramsdale for England. Need to be a big second half from Steve Clarke's men if they want a good result out of this commemorative game. Nice work from Kane, linking up with Rashford. Now Bellingham. Bellingham to Foden. Foden in the box. Foden with a strut across and just evades Harry Kane at the back post there. Really good movement again from England. That link up. The front 4 of England have been sensational. And the halftime whistle has just gone here at Hampden Park after that chance for England. And it is England's with a 2-goal lead. Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham, the goal scorers. Half-time in this 150th anniversary commemorative game between Scotland and England at Hampden Park. It's Scotland 0, England 2.
Playing through the thirds, little interchange and 1-2s. It's been very, very difficult for Scotland to stop and deal with them and whatever. They've looked very good in their attacking play. Possession's been good, but the difference between this game and Ukraine, we're looking to play forward. We've played it over the top with good runs and slid balls through with good runs as well.
I was a little frustrated at 0-0. Listen, a goal changes everything for me. I'm that basic an England fan, but I was a little bit frustrated. They were slowing things right down, going backwards, 20-yard passes when they could have turned and gone forward. But is that part of the game plan? And that's what's led to us being 2-0 up.
I'm not on the inside of it. I don't know whether they're saying, well, hang on, if we do that, we draw the opposition onto us and then we wait the opportunity to play the pass. And sometimes I think it's on more often than not. I'm like you in that camp, you know. We watched the game in Ukraine and I thought the ball could have gone forward more often than not to hurt the opposition, and we didn't play it. Tonight I think it's totally different. I think some of our interchange, and there was once we swept almost the length of the pitch with so much great interchange and pace and power and precision.
Well, before the game, Chris, my former Scotland striker, told us how Gaza made him cry. Foden and Bellingham making you cry tonight. What's going wrong for Scotland? Because they've done nothing.
Yeah, they haven't. I think it's how good England have been. You know, I think that front 4 I'm looking at Kane, the positions that he picks up, how strong he is. Like Porteous he's not even going to go and try and win his aerial duels. He's allowing Kane to take it down. You can't get a player of that quality that time. Bellingham, Rashford and Foden, again, they're so compact, they come so close together, and the movement, it really kind of nullifies the quality of Gilmour and McGregor, and you don't really want to kind of push one of your centre backs out. It's so difficult to defend against, and then as soon as you do step out of position, that quality little ball with weight of passing behind, and you have to then defend for your lives, and it's been nowhere near good enough.
I'm going to ask Chris a question here, because he covers Scotland a lot more than I do. Do you think Scotland have almost got caught up in the situation? If they were taking a team on of England's ability and rank, would they be a lot more cautious than they are in a game like tonight with all the euphoria that's surrounding it?
Well, it's important that you don't play the occasion, and I think the players have got to kind of buy into that. They've shown that they don't crumble under pressure, but you called it within the first couple of minutes, Stuart. You said that giving England far too much respect. You cannot sit off players. You've got to go in the front foot, high intensity, force the error, and then grow into the game from there, and Scotland haven't done that.
Can you see Scotland getting back into this at all?
Well, I just want something. I want them. I want a chance. I want an effort and goal. If they get the next goal, then you never know, but England are completely in control.
They are. It is 2-0 to England. Foden and Bellingham with the goals. We'll talk about that little skirmish where Bellingham got booked. Stuart made a great point about that in-game commentary. But live on TalkSport, England very much in control in this so-called friendly, the 150th anniversary heritage match. At half-time on TalkSport, it's Scotland 0, England 2.
Kickoff on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
It's happening. They've all overheard. All I wanted was a little low-key McDelivery, me and my brother. But Mum's piped in with her.
Oh, I'm in. Fillet of fish and a Diet Coke, no ice.
And Dad's muscled in with his.
Yes, I'm in. Big Mac with fries and strawberry milkshake, please.
So I give my brother a little eye roll. Oh well, family dinner it is. At least I can steal some of Dad's fries.
There's nothing quite like a McDelivery. Order on the McDonald's app. You in? At participating restaurants only. 18+. Serving times, delivery fees and terms apply. See app or mcdonalds.com for details.
The rewards points went in 2 by 2, hurrah! Hurrah! The rewards points went in 2 by 2, hurrah! Hurrah! The rewards points went in 2 by 2 when you're shopping and your fuel too, and they all went onto your card, so you'll get lovely rewards.
Enjoy double BP Me rewards points on everything from filling your tank to filling your basket. Plus, get double rewards points on BP Ultimate Fuels with active technology. Hurrah! BP, here for all of life's journeys. T's and C's apply. Available at participating dealer-owned BP stores only. For details, see bpmerewards.co.uk/double points.
It's just you versus your mates with Le Bon, the quality new football predictor app. With Le Bon, you predict the results for the weekend's big games, invite your mates, then add a few quid to the in-app pot. The mate with the most points at the end of the weekend wins the cash kitty. Simple. With Le Bon, it's just you versus your mates, wherever you are. Download the Le Bon app today and get your mates on it this weekend. Le Bon. LEBON. 18+. BeGambleAware.org. Winning subject to 10% transaction fee.
DZ4X isn't just any all-electric SUV. It's powered by 25 years of electric innovation. Experience the freedom of a 24-hour test drive and enjoy 0% APR over 36 months when you order. Available on PCP over 36 months when financed through Toyota Financial Services by 2nd of October. Optional final payment. Indemnities may be required. Test drive subject to availability. See website. Conditions apply.
Experience the power of magic at Walt Disney World Resort in Florida in summer 2024. Book selected packages by the 9th of November and get up to $2,100 dining and merchandise credit on 2-week stays. A 14-day ticket for the price of 7, plus a Disney gift card worth up to $200. Book now at disneypackages.co.uk. Selected 2024 arrivals and Disney resorts. $2,100 credit based on 14-night stay in August and September. Conditions and exclusions apply.
At Betfred, we want betting to be safe, so we have a range of tools to help. You can set a deposit limit to control your spending. Reality checks are there to remind you how long you've been playing. And if you need to take a break, you can set a timeout whenever you like. For more help, speak to our shop staff or visit betfred.com. Betting should be fun and friendly, so please remember, gamble safely.
18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Now, brown the mince, mojito peppers, cumin, oregano. Wonderful. Next, a splash of...
Seriously? You don't need to splash out and all that. To give your chili con carne full-on flavour, just add a Coleman's recipe mix to whatever you're cooking. They're a spice rack in a pack. For great nosh, for less dosh, cook with Coleman's recipe mixes. Full-on flavour.
Talk about a blast from the past. The 1990s. When McDonald's started using 100% British and Irish beef in our burgers. Back when you actually had to leave the house and head to the arcade if you wanted to play a game with your mates. What a time. It's just one of the little changes McDonald's have been constantly making to the way we source and produce our food over the years. McDonald's. Change a little, change a lot.
At Crown Trade, we asked painters and decorators, would you get a tattoo of a rival team if it meant you won the league? Maybe.
No chance.
Yeah, if it was on my backside. At least there's one thing they do agree on. There's no better paint than Crown.
Crown Trade.
It's so easy to use. 97% of painters and decorators who use Crown Trade agree. There's no better paint. It's not just paint, it's personal. Survey of 187 professional decorators.
Adebayo Akinfenwa here, ambassador for Bet UK. And in case you didn't know, I'm kind of a big deal. But at Bet UK, an even bigger deal is gambling responsibly. It's important to keep yourself safe when betting. That's why you can find a range of tools on the Bet UK app and website. You can set deposit limits, schedule reality checks, and set timeouts to help you stay in control. Always gamble responsibly at Bet UK.
18 plus, please gamble responsibly.
Kickoff International Special on Talk Sport.
Well, tough job for the PA announcer here at Hampden at half-time, trying to rouse the crowd. Just gone through a long list of inventions and then asked the crowd where they were all invented. Scotland, the answer. It was a little bit half-hearted from the Hampden crowd because it is Scotland 0, England 2. Second half coming up live on Talk Sport. A game that also affects Scotland is Norway against Georgia in Oslo. Let's check out what's happening in the first half for Talk Sport's Ian Danta.
Norway 2, Georgia 0 at the break. Scotland look they'll have to wait until next month to secure safe passage to the Euro finals, as the drawn scoreline they craved here to confirm qualification tonight now looks unlikely. Norway firmly in control. It was a quiet opening quarter, but the home fans were just starting to show signs of frustration when Norway hit the front on 25 minutes. 18-year-old Antonio Nusa on his competitive debut for Norway. Some lovely wing play down the left. His deep cross found, you guessed it, Erling Haaland. Perfect cross at the far post, and his firm header 6 yards out did the rest. It was 2-0 just over 10 minutes before the break. Nusa again causing havoc with a jinking run into the box and a clever pull back to the edge of the area for Arsenal's Martin Odegaard to crash the ball home left-footed. For Georgia, their starman Kvaratskhelia has had two weaving runs at the backpedaling Norwegian defence, but on both occasions his final shot inside the box was blocked. Odegaard's had more chances to extend the Norwegian lead. It looks a long way back for Georgia here. At the break, Norway 2, Georgia 0.
Yeah, Scotland need that to be a draw. That doesn't look like it's going to happen. Elsewhere, in England's group, Group C, it's Italy 2, Ukraine 1. Yarmolenko pulling one back for Ukraine just before half-time. And it's Malta 0, North Macedonia 2. Stays like that. Those results stay like that. England need a point versus Italy at Wembley next month to qualify. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Well, England are 2 up here at Hampden. Scotland are 125 to 1 for the win. The draw 25 to 1, and England 40 to 1 on. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Well, some wonderful stuff on TalkSport today. The breakfast show, magnificent as ever. Ali McCoy, Stanley Townsend on great form, picking a combined.
I got a switch in my head. I go from living to dead.
Welcome back to the live coverage of the international football friendly between Scotland and England. Scotland 2-0 down at Hampden Park at the break. Goals from Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham has England 2 goals to the good. In our 9 Euro 2024 qualifiers tonight, Belgium 2-0 up against Estonia in that one. Israel 0-0 with Belarus. Italy went 2-0 up against Ukraine, but Ukraine pulled one back just before half-time through under Yarmolenko. North Macedonia 2-0 up against Malta. Norway 2-0 up against Georgia. There's an interruption to the Romania-Kosovo game. It's been put down officially as crowd trouble. That's all the details we have on that one, but it was 0-0 when that game was interrupted. We will get you further details on that if anything further emerges. Spain 2-0 up against Cyprus, and goalless between Sweden, Austria and Switzerland, Andorra at the break. Right, okay, the second half is coming up in just a moment, but let me tell you what's coming up next here in terms of football here on LFS. We have another live game for you on Friday night. Southampton hosting Leicester. 2 of the teams that were relegated from the Premier League last season face off on the Friday night game to get back domestic action back underway after this first international break of the season, and that kicks us off on Friday night here on LFS. And we have a lot more to look forward to over the next few weeks. The second half at Hampden Park is on the way in just a moment. Right, welcome back to Hampden Park for the second half here between Scotland and England in this 150th commemorative game between Scotland and England. Of course, the very first ever international game between two sides, Scotland and England. The oldest international rivalry in history, 150 years ago in November. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. We greatly appreciate it. We're on the road to 20,000 here on LFS. We're at 19,600, just a couple of hundred away. Your help in getting us to 20,000 would be massively appreciated. Right, there is a England change at half-time. I want to get full confirmation of that just before I give it to you. It looks like Harry Maguire is coming on. That's what I've been told. Who for, I don't know. We'll get the full details in a moment. As the players just enter back onto the pitch, the Scottish players ready to go. Waiting the referee's whistle to get us back underway here. Rashford is the man in the middle. And he gets us back underway here at Hampden Park for this second half between Scotland and England, with England 2 goals to the good. There is another big high-profile friendly this evening. 2 massive teams in terms of European football, European countries, Germany and France, currently playing out a 1-0 win for Germany at the moment in that international friendly. Doesn't really mean nothing, obviously. Thomas Müller with the only goal in that one. No Kylian Mbappe in that game, interestingly enough. Not from the starting anyway. A few of the games in the Euro 2024 qualifiers are back underway for the second half. The Norway game, the Malta game, the Sweden game, and the Switzerland game are all back underway, and Spain as well. All back underway for the second halves. Just to confirm that substitution then for you at half-time for England, it's Mark Guehi that has made way for Harry Maguire. So a change at centre-back for England, whether that's an injury issue or if Gareth Southgate just missed Harry Maguire. Who knows? But England 2 to the good, and they've just made their first substitution at half-time. McGregor for Scotland. Phillips wins the challenge and wins the ball for England. Now down the right is Foden. Foden to try and play it through for Rashford. And Bellingham were also making the run, but cleared away by Scotland. Defensively, Angus Gunn with the clearance, and the ball out from the back from Scotland is cleared away, and that will be an England throw-in on the right-hand side. Well, that's an interesting... I'm still keeping an eye on this Romania-Kosovo game, because I'm interested to see what has actually happened there. It just goes down as crowd trouble. There is an interruption in that one to the game, so whatever that is. Of course, remember, there was a very high-profile interruption in the Scotland game against, was it Cyprus? Was it here? Remember back in, or was it Georgia? It was back in June when they had those terrible weather that time here at Hampden Park, and the pitch was flooded and the game was suspended and then pushed back and delayed a good hour. The kickoff was delayed, even more than that actually, at Hampden Park that night. Some fixture, some storyline that was. England, nice possession here, beaten off the ball, no foul says the referee. McTominay picks it up, finds it to Gilmour, who's under pressure. Gilmour rides out that challenge, linking up with McTominay again. Gilmour goes back to Hendry. Now Tierney. Tierney to McGinn. Nice work from McGinn. Spins on the ball. John McGinn, deflection off Adams, and that will go for a goal kick. Unfortunate there from Scotland's point of view. McGinn took the strike. It hit his own teammate Che Adams, who was ahead of him, and bounced behind for an England goal kick. Disappointing for Scotland, but they need to be a bit more positive in this second half. Remember, they had just one shot. Or sorry, that is their only shot of the game. They haven't had anything so far. High profile spectator this evening, Sir Rod Stewart. Of course, a very well known Celtic fan. He's in Tartan tonight. That's good pressure from Robertson on Phillips. Robertson trying to play the ball through, but Phillips with a block, and that'll be a Scotland throw-in on the left-hand side. 4 minutes gone, 0-2. Tierney to take this throw-in then for Scotland. On the left-hand side, Tierney going for the long throw. Right into the box. McTominay with the head. Half cleared. Falls to Gilmour on the edge. Gilmour with a strike. And just high and wide there from Billy Gilmour. Nice idea from the young man, but not the execution that he would have wanted off that one. Would have wanted to get it on target. Test Aaron Ramsdale, but ended up behind for the goal kick. Better from Scotland though. Well, another high profile, of course, spectator this evening. The FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, is in the house tonight here at Hampden Park. There was a bit of celeb spotting at half-time, clearly, from the cameramen around here at Hampden Park. Although Gianni Infantino is not the most liked man in football at the moment, despite being the FIFA president. He's not the most liked amongst many. And don't blame people for not liking him. Anyway, Hendry on the ball. Back to Gunn. And the ball forward, but there was an offside in there from Scotland. I think it was Scott McTominay, was it? It was, who was coming back from an offside position. Scott McTominay to win that header, but he ended up going down from that one. We have a goal. Finally, the deadlock is broken in Group I in those three games, and it's the Swiss in Sion this evening that have the lead. It's Cedric Etienne with the goal for Switzerland, who have a lead against Andorra. 1-0 to Switzerland in that group. And they obviously lead that group. They will now go 5 points clear in that group, with of course the interruption there to Romania. There would be 4 points ahead of Romania if Romania's game would be counting at the moment, but because it's interrupted, it's been blocked at the moment. But Switzerland, top of Group I. They're heading for their Euros. Had a very good Euro 2021 campaign, a Euro 2020 campaign. Put out the world champions France at the time. In the quarterfinals, I think it was. Switzerland. They'll be hoping and they'll be looking for a return to the Euros. I actually have to check Group I. It's still only 2 teams that get qualification from each group, but Group I has 6 teams in it, unlike a lot of the other groups in the qualifying campaign that have 5 teams Group I has 6. All 6 of those teams in action tonight. That's nice from McTominay. Gilmore. Now McTominay. Scotland building in their momentum. McGregor whips one in. Robertson was lurking. Walker had to head it clear. Dunk was pressuring. Tierney follows up. He's beaten off the ball by Foden. That's good tracking back by Phil Foden, as Scotland were trying to build ahead of steam against that England defence, but good work from Foden to win it back for his team. So a few clear scorelines so far. 2-0 in Norway, 2-0 in Spain, 2-0 for North Macedonia, 2-0 for Belgium. Still only hanging in the balance the 1 goal between Italy and Ukraine at the moment in England's group. The second and third in that group, Italy and Ukraine. Both on 7 points as it stands. Ukraine are unbeaten in their last 4 games. Italy haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 4, including that game. But Italy haven't lost to Ukraine in all of their last 5 meetings. They've only met 5 times, and they haven't been beaten even once, Italy. However, in 2018, Ukraine came close with a 1-1 draw against Italy in that one. That's the best result they've got out of Italy. Ukraine over the last few years since they've ever played them. But it's 2-1 to Italy at the moment. Walker. Now Harry Kane. Harry Kane with a cross. Headed away by Tierney. Foden keeps it alive. Linking up with Rice. Now Phil Foden. Haven't heard much of Harry Maguire so far. Here he is. Harry Maguire. He's getting a right cheer from the Hampden Park crowd this evening. I wonder why. Harry Maguire again. Now Declan Rice. Rashford. Back to Maguire. Oh, I can't handle that. Every time Maguire gets on the ball, there's cheers and cheers from the Hampden Park Scotland fans, of course. I wouldn't be surprised if the England fans are doing it too. You never know. Dunk. Back to Harry Maguire. Maguire to Rashford, who spins away from the marker in McTominay, his club teammate. Now Bellingham. Back to Rashford on the left flank. Bellingham again. And that ball to Trippier is just overhit by Jude Bellingham. And that will be a Scotland throw-in on the far right-hand side. 10 minutes of the second half gone, and England still lead by 2-0. Scotland have been a bit better, a bit more competitive in this second half so far on the ball. They've already had 2 more shots than they did in the first half, although both off target. They're looking a bit more competitive, Scotland, and that will be the hope for Steve Clarke. The game against England is never a friendly. It's always a fierce rivalry, always a wanting to win, wanting to do well and performing well. And Steve Clarke will, I'm sure, be telling his team that. Tierney. You never know, these two could find their way in the same group again for the Euros next summer, as they did in 2020. I don't think they will if they both win their group. I don't know how the draw works. The draw, by the way, for the Euro 2024 campaign, the finals, is in December, I think. The last that I heard, it was in December, so we'll be looking forward to that one. We've just had a glut of goals in the Sweden-Austria game. 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes. I missed both of them. But Austria, 2-0 to the good against Sweden. Wow. Very good. England have the ball here on the left flank. Bellingham trying to find space to work the ball into the box. Linking up with Rashford. Now Trippier. Rashford again. Kieran Trippier. Linking up with Rashford. Battling for the ball. That will run out of play for an England throw. The goals, by the way, for Austria in that game against Sweden. 2-0 to the good. Gregoritsch and Arnautovic with both goals for Austria to put them 2-0 up. And they will be joint top of Group F alongside Belgium at the moment. Austria 7 points clear of Sweden with just 3 games to go for those 3 teams. Fascinating. The game between Romania and Kosovo is back underway. And we've started back at 25 minutes in that one. So there was a long interruption. So they're still in the first half. So God knows how long that will go on. We're not going to stay and keep you updated with that one. If you want, ever so inclined, you can get an app on your phone. Belgium 3-0 to the good now against Estonia. They've gone from 2 to 3. They're making their lead even better against Estonia, and it's Romelu Lukaku, the failed Chelsea striker, with the lead there, or with the third goal there to consolidate a very good victory indeed it will be for Belgium if they see it through against bottom of the table Estonia, who've just picked up 1 point from their first 5 games in the Euro qualifiers. It's all the same scorelines from around the other games. In Group A, it's still 2-0 Norway, still 2-0 Spain, and in England's Group C, Ukraine still trail 2-1 to Italy, and North Macedonia still 2-0 to the good against Malta. And it's still 2-0 to England here against Scotland in this international friendly, the 150th anniversary game. Harry Kane on the edge of the box looking for the strike. There is a bit of a deflection, I think. Well, Harry Kane thought so. I thought so as well, but the officials have given a goal kick. See it again. Harry Kane with the strike. Clear deflection. It's a clear deflection off Kieran Tierney. Don't know how they've missed that. The officials have missed it. Over the bar. Scotland will get a goal kick. Despite it possibly being a corner. They're going to make a double change here, Scotland as well. So a bit of fresh legs. It will be Shea Adams that's going to make way. He's going to make way for Lyndon Dykes, I believe. Actually, no. He makes way for Ryan Christie. So Ryan Christie coming on, replacing Shea Adams. And Billy Gilmore is coming off, and he will be replaced by Lyndon Dykes. So double change, attacking changes for Scotland. Gilmore and Adams off, replaced by Christie and Dykes. England, of course, made their change at half-time, with Harry Maguire coming on for Mark Guehi. Well, you'll, of course, find out more details about that, whether that was an injury or just a tactical move. After the game, you will surely hear about that from Gareth Southgate. I wouldn't be surprised if it is a tactical move, because he absolutely adores Harry Maguire. No idea why, but he does. Now 4-0 to Belgium in that one. They're really racking up the goals against Estonia tonight, and it's Romelu Lukaku again. 2 minutes after his first, he's got his second of the night, and he's got Belgium's fourth of the evening. That they lead by 4-0. We've seen a few big scorelines in the Euro qualifiers this week. Portugal's 9-0 win over Luxembourg. Spain's 7-1 win against, was it Georgia? I don't remember. Apologies. It is Georgia. 7-1 win over Georgia, of course, last week. So a lot of high scorelines. Belgium could be joining that crowd if they keep with their attacking pressure in this second half. Only played around 15 minutes of that second half. 4-0 Belgium. Only 15 minutes gone here, and Scotland trying to play it through the lines. I think it was Christie that tried to feed that ball through, but it was Hickey actually trying to find one of the Scottish players in the box, but it will run the way through to Aaron Ramsdale. So still England lead by 2-0 here at Hampden Park in this international friendly 150th anniversary commemorative game. It's a real mouthful, that. Pressure on Harry Maguire. He was pushed off the ball there, but he's got a bit of a cheer from the Scottish fans, but no foul as England have possession. Ramsdale. Rice. Back to Lewis Dunk. Dunk under pressure from Ryan Christie, the substitute. Has to go back to Ramsdale. Second half underway between Germany and France in that international friendly, and it's Germany that lead by 1-0 going into the second period there. Phillips under pressure from Christie. Has to go back to Maguire. Harry Maguire out to the left to find Trippier. Trippier keeps it in, but only giving it away to Scott McTominay, and then he's giving it away to his club teammate Marcus Rashford, who now tries to find a nice ball to Harry Kane. I thought it was going to thread its way through there, but in the way did get Kieran Tierney, and Robertson back to Gunn. Back to Robertson again. Now McGregor. Switch ball from Scotland. Now McTominay. In space down that right hand side, Scott McTominay. Real goal machine for Scotland in recent weeks. Finds that ball to Robertson. Robertson makes the run, or gets the ball, makes the run for Christie. Cleared away by Phillips. Picked up by McGregor. Good play from Scotland. Robertson. Now Christie. Flag doesn't go up. England wanted it to. Nice link up with McGregor. Robertson with a deep cross, but no one there at the back post. And that will run for a goal, for a throw into England. Really, really good. It was really good approach play from Scotland. The final cross from Robertson was just a bit too deep for anyone in the box and evaded everybody and went out for a throw-in to England. Well, let's have a look at the chat. Or the poll in the chat. The match result prediction. 52% predicting an England win. 43% predicting a Scotland win. Just 4% predicting a draw. Well, at the moment, the majority are so far correct. Shot from distance by Christie, but wide. Trying something different. It's not a problem. Have to try a few things. Scotland need to make their attacks count. So far, they're good approach play, but the final pass, the final ball, just isn't there at the moment. And they need to improve that. If they improve that, they could be more threatening against England. They've had 3 attempts, none of them on target. England have had 7 attempts, and both 2 of those on target, and both finding the back of the Scottish net. Clinical. Walker. Nice flick by Foden, but it's too short for Phillips. One back by Tierney. Linking up with McTominay. Now Hickey. Hickey to McGinn. Trying to find Hickey again. Hickey's made the run through. Hickey just blocked by Lewis Dunk. Better from Scotland. Playing it through the lines. Into tight spaces. Nice intricate football. McTominay with a cross. And that's headed back to his keeper by Lewis Dunk. Better from Scotland. Something they didn't do in that first half was play the ball through the lines. Nice quick intricate play against that England team. Trying to break up between the midfield and defence of England. They didn't have that finishing ability, that ability to find those intricate passes in the first half, but now they have. They're starting to find them. Lyndon Dykes pressure on Dunk, but Dunk back to Ramsdale. And Ramsdale with a catch. Ramsdale taking his time on the with the ball here. Getting a few jeers from around Hampden Park. Does fire the ball long, does Ramsdale. First header by McGregor. And that will be a foul on Callum McGregor, so that will be a free kick to Scotland. Inside, just inside their own half. Well, that was... Scotland have probably been the better team in this second half, I would have to say, so far. Looked the more threatening, they looked the better team. Higher tempo, much quicker football. England just, when they get the ball, they're trying to force it a bit more. They need to be patient. McTominay. Hickey. Hickey on the right hand side to McTominay. Trying to link up with McGinn, who was brought down there. Hickey keeps it alive, but then that's intercepted by Trippier. And now Rashford to carry it away for England. Down the left flank. Rashford. Trying to find the run of Bellingham, does so. Bellingham makes the run and puts the cross, but that's far too deep from Jude Bellingham. And goes behind for a Scotland goal kick. Bit more end to end, but England again impatient. Robertson picking up the ball in space in the middle. Now McTominay. Scotland a bit more G'd up at the moment. McGinn. Now Robertson on the far right flank. Andy Robertson. Can he cross it? He can cross it, and it's an own goal! It's an own goal, and Scotland have a goal back. And it's the man that everyone inside Hampden Park has been laughing at since he's come onto the pitch. It's Harry Maguire, who puts it into his own net. And what a mistake by Gareth Southgate to bring this man on. Bring him on and you're certain to concede. It's Andy Robertson, puts the ball across, trying to find Lyndon Dykes. It was going to be nowhere near Lyndon Dykes. And it takes a nick off Harry Maguire, who was calling for offside. I don't know why he's calling for offside, but he's calling for something. He's cheering because he scored an own goal. Scotland 1, England 2. Game is certainly back on now here at Hampden. You can't help but laugh at this. Oh my goodness me. You couldn't write it. You couldn't write it if you tried. Scotland 1, England 2, and it's an own goal from Harry Maguire. My goodness me. Oh. Honestly. Now Scotland are G'd up by that. Robertson. Now linking up with Dykes. Back to Robertson. Robertson with a cross in. Dykes looking for the header. Just wide by Lyndon Dykes. Better from Scotland. And the crowd are behind them now. Hampden Park has come to life. Burst into life. Hampden Park here. After that Harry Maguire own goal. You couldn't write it, could you? Genuinely. Honestly. Oh, God. And now the Scottish fans are in full voice. And if you thought Harry Maguire's jeers and G's were out loud earlier on, I would like to see when he gets on the ball now what the Scottish fans would do. Well, Aaron Ramsdale takes the goal kick and fires it out of play for a Scotland throw-in. Maybe a bit of pressure here on England showing. They're ready to make more changes. They'll talk about that in a moment. Robertson in space down the left. Bodies flying forward for Scotland. Nice feet by Ryan Christie. Has to go back to Tierney. All inside the England half. McGregor. Now Hendry. Ryan Porteous for Scotland. Back to Jack Hendry. Porteous. Hickey. Scotland certainly been the better team in the second half. That goal, although it was a Harry Maguire own goal, they've been pushing and probing for it since Ryan Christie and Lyndon Dykes have come onto the pitch. They've made a real difference. Scotland have just done something slightly different, and it's reaped a few benefits and rewards so far, getting that goal back. McTominay. Hickey. Down the right-hand side. McGinn. John McGinn. Finds Lyndon Dykes in space. Back to McGinn. Finding the openings here, Scotland. McGinn now to Robertson. Robertson on the left. Can he whip a ball in? He can't do. And McGinn with a header over the bar. That was a big opportunity for Scotland. It's a beautiful delivery by Robertson. Waits it just perfectly for John McGinn, who just gets ahead of the ball. Tries to fire it across. To flick it on. It hits his right shoulder. And bounces over the crossbar. And behind for an England goal kick, but that was a massive chance for Scotland. Massive opportunity, but that's so much better from them. So much better. England are going to make a double change here. Phil Foden making way for Bukayo Saka. The first change. And Rashford is also making way. He is being replaced by, I think it's Ebere Eze. It is Ebere Eze. So Saka and Eze on, Rashford and Foden off. So two new wingers for England to try and add a bit more attacking prowess to the side. A bit fresh legs in terms of attack for England. Ramsdale with a long free kick, or goal kick clearance. Headed away by Porteous. Bouncing about. Header won by Walker. Phillips battling. Wins the ball. Now finds it to Rice. Better from England. Here's Declan Rice. Down the left is Eze with his first touch. Back to Rice. Has to go back to Trippier. Now Phillips. Eze. Short pass from Eze. Put England in a bit of danger, but they kept the ball. Rice. Now Phillips. And Trippier Goes back to Harry Maguire, who gets proper cheers and jeers from the Hampden crowd. Across to Lewis Dunk. Saka coming deep, back to Lewis Dunk again. And we have a few more goals to tell you about in Group A. I'll let you know about that in a second. As England come forward, a big chance! Saved by Angus Gunn. My goodness me, just as I was adjusting a few things, I just missed a big chance for a Barry Eze. I would love to see a replay if they could show it. England have a throw in on the right hand side though. Walker. I want to see the replay. I'll get the replay for you in a moment. Apologies for missing that chance, but England had a big chance, which they didn't score from. Dunk. Now Walker. England in possession, looking to fight to regain a 2-goal lead if they can against Scotland in this game. A game with the utmost history behind it. 150 years since the very first meeting of these two teams in international football. Walker with a switch ball. Brought down nicely by Trippier. Now finds Eze. Back to Trippier. Bodies in the box for England. Trippier with a cross. Finds Harry Kane. Harry Kane chests it down and fires it into the net, but the flag is raised for a free kick because he had pushed Kieran Tierney before he got the ball. So no goal because there was a foul in the build-up. 2 goals to tell you about in that Spain game. Spain now 4-0 to the good against Cyprus. Scotland's 3-0 win is bettered by Spain, who have a 4-0 lead against Cyprus. The goals from Joselu and Ferran Torres in the space of 3 minutes has Spain 4-0 up against Cyprus. Spain are certainly chasing Scotland down for that top spot now in that group. They won't get anywhere near it tonight anyway. Bellingham battling with Hendry. Hendry wins the ball according to the referee. Now McTominay beaten off the ball. Won the ball again was Harry Kane. Now Rice. He's letting a lot go tonight, the referee. I like to see that. Walker. Kyle Walker. Back to Saka. Just around 16 minutes plus additional time to go. Scotland 1, England 2 in this game. Maguire. Eze. That ball does find its way to Trippier after a few Scotland players touching it. Rice. Now Walker. England looking to up the tempo with their game. Their attacking play, but Scotland holding firm at the moment. Walker has to go back to Declan Rice. Rice through to Eze. Eze linking up with Bellingham. Nice feet from Jude Bellingham. Really good run from Jude Bellingham. Bellingham in the box. Saved by Gunn. And denied a big chance there, Jude Bellingham, for a second goal by Angus Gunn. Really good run by Jude Bellingham. Gets the ball onto his left. There was a slight deflection off Hickey. Probably helped his goalkeeper out there, Hickey, with that deflection. And the save from Gunn puts it out for an England throw on the left. Trippier to Eze. Back to Trippier. Now back to Dunk. What a start to the campaign for Jude Bellingham and Real Madrid. 5 of their 8 goals for Real Madrid have come from Jude Bellingham, winning him La Liga Player of the Month for Real Madrid. Of course, when he made the move in the summer to one of the biggest clubs in world football at the age of 19. Sensational. Sensational. Phillips. Back to Dunk. Now Harry Maguire. Rice to Dunk. And now Scotland intercept that Dunk pass to Kane. And that's really good to keep it alive from Callum McGregor. Robertson. McGregor again. Now here's Jack Hendry for Scotland. Porteous breaking into the England half. McTominay. Back to Porteous. Straight ball to Lyndon Dykes. He has to retreat from the Calvin Phillips pressure. Porteous with a switch ball, looking for Robertson. Cut out by England. And nice feet by Saka to try and break away from Kieran Tierney's challenge. But the foul will be given against Kieran Tierney, and that will be a yellow card for the Scotland centre-back as well. Well, the left centre-back for Scotland is Kieran Tierney. occupying that role of hybrid left back for Scotland, left centre back. There's another goal in the Spain game. 5-0 to Spain now. They're really looking to up the ante and looking to destroy Cyprus tonight, and they are doing so. 5-0 up for Spain at the moment. Still over 10 minutes to go. And no, it's not Gavi with his second. I just seen goal. It is 5-0. I haven't got the goal scorer just yet. I'll get the details of that in a moment. There is a stoppage here at the moment for this England free kick, just as we're ready to take. Referee just taking his time. Walker. Now Rice. Out to Saka. Saka on the right hand side. Finds it to Bellingham. Jude Bellingham trying to find the ball forward. That's nice to find Rice on the right hand side. Walker looking to whip across. Does whip the cross in. Bouncing in. Porteous with a half clearance. Kept alive by Eze. Now Rice. Rice with a switch ball. Trying to find Walker, but good covering by Robertson and Tierney there defensively. Saka trying to beat past Robertson, but cleared away. Blocked off. McTominay trying to win it back, but Rice has the ball. Rice with a cross. And Hickey's there to just see it behind for the corner for England. Taking no risks there was Aaron Hickey. And England have a corner on the left-hand side. That 5th goal, by the way, for Spain was scored by a substitute just on the pitch. Alejandro Baena, who just came on a minute earlier and has already got his first goal of the night. Alejandro Baena for Spain. 5-0 to the Spanish there. So corner then for England. Kieran Trippier whips it in. Headed away by, I think that was Lyndon Dykes, or was it Ryan Christie? One of the two. It's cleared away. Walker has to go back to his keeper, Ramsdale. Ramsdale with the ball forward. What a ball. Finds it to Kieran Trippier on the left. Up against McGinn. Back to Bellingham, who goes back to Rice. Now Phillips. Back to Harry Maguire. Rice. Switches it across to Walker on the right hand side. Sorry, Dunk, apologies. Here is Walker. Phillips. Nice Saka. Coming in field is Bukayo Saka. Followed all the way by Andy Robertson, who chased him all the way out there. But he kept on the ball with Saka. To Rice. Now Eze. Trippier linking up with Rice. Bellingham, sorry. Bellingham finds it to Kane. Harry Kane finishes it all off. Harry Kane linking up with Jude Bellingham, and there's only going to be one outcome. Harry Kane slots it past Angus Gunn, and he's certainly wrapped this game up now. Scotland 1, England 3, and that's beautiful approach play. Really good from Bellingham. Gets away from his marker, finds the ball through to Harry Kane off Robertson, and Harry Kane with a slotted finish into the left corner. Really good finish, really good goal, and that surely will give England the win here in this international friendly. Harry Kane on the score sheet to get England's 3rd goal of the night. Really, really well worked goal. Totally deserved it. Fantastic, but Scotland a bit too easy to open up there. Probably should have done better defensively. And on the balance of the half, I do think Scotland have been the better team. Genuinely. I do think Scotland have been the better team in the second half. But England took their chance. 3-1. And we still have another 8 minutes plus additional time to go. I can update you on a few scorelines. Just we're ready to get underway again. John McGinn has just come off, so we'll confirm that substitution in a moment. And Kieran Tierney's also come off. Still 2-0 to Norway against Georgia in that one. Into the last 5 minutes of that game. Spain 5-0 up against Cyprus, both Group A games in the Euro Championship qualifiers. Italy still leading Ukraine by 2-1. Still a very game that still hangs in the balance. 2-0 to North Macedonia against Malta still. Belgium still 4-0 up against Estonia. Austria have now made it 3-0 against Sweden in that one. Get the goal scorer for you that one in a moment. Still 0-0 between Israel and Belarus. Romania Kosovo is still goalless. That's half time after that interruption. Kosovo down to 10 men as well. And Switzerland still lead Andorra by 1-0. That Austria goal scorer for the third was Marko Arnautovic, his second of the game from the penalty spot. 3-0. Right, Scotland have a free kick here. Ryan Christie and I think that was Stuart Armstrong that's come on. He's whipped the cross in, but Porteous heads it wide. Just to confirm those substitutions for Scotland, I can in a moment. I haven't got the full details, but the cross from Armstrong is right across and headed wide by Ryan Porteous. Spain have a 6th goal, by the way, in that one. They're really racking up the goals. They're looking to match their 7-1 victory against Georgia with a massive win against Cyprus. They're 6-0 to the good. There's still time for more if they can get them. Still not confirmed the details of those substitutions. England are going to make a double substitution as well. Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham, the two that linked up for that third goal, will be making way here. As you can see, Conor Gallagher is coming on for Harry Kane, and Jude Bellingham is replaced by, I do not know. I really do not know at this moment in time. Callum Wilson. So Wilson and Gallagher on for Bellingham and Harry Kane for England. The Scotland substitutions still have beaten me. It's Tierney and McGinn who have come on, or have come off, and I know Stuart Armstrong is on. I don't know who the other player is that's come on at the moment. But Scotland did make another 2 substitutions there. Hickey. Back to Ryan Porteous. Porteous with the ball over the top, looking for Dykes. Well defended by Harry Maguire. Not often I've said that. Scotland win it back though with a loose ball. McTominay. Hickey. Across to Hendry. Now out wide to Robertson on the left. Has to go backwards, Andy Robertson to Angus Gunn. 5 minutes plus additional time to go. Scotland 1, England 3. McGregor. Porteous. McGregor again. Hendry. Robertson. Back to Porteous. Well, Scotland had a very good record at home in the recent games. 6 straight wins here at Hampden Park and had conceded only 1 goal in that time in the Euro Nations League and Euro qualifier games, all at Hampden Park. Ireland, the only team other than England to have scored here in the last 7 games. Now, Ukraine were the last team to beat Scotland here at Hampden. It was back in June 2022 in a World Cup qualifier, of course. Ukraine won 3-1 in that one. Scotland have only lost twice at Hampden Park in the last 2.5 years. Czech Republic, the only other team to beat Scotland at Hampden by 2-0 in 2021 in the Euros in 2021. Actually, that wasn't at Hampden Park, was it? It couldn't have been. No, it was. Apologies. Bit confused there. 6 goal for Spain, as I mentioned, and that's Ferran Torres' second goal of the night. Spain 6 to the good in that one in Group A of the Euro Championship qualifiers. It's still Germany that lead France by the 1-0 in that international friendly at the moment in that one. With around 20 minutes to go in that one. Kicked off around 15 minutes later than this game. we do finally have the confirmation of the Scotland changes. Stuart Armstrong and Lewis Ferguson have come onto the pitch for Kieran Tierney and John McGinn. That was around 4 minutes ago. That substitution. They're going to make another one, Scotland as well, in just a moment. The last 3 minutes of this commemorative game, the 150th anniversary game since these sides first meeting back in 1873. And England, although were the better team in the first half, they took their only chance of the second half, really, and that has wrapped this game up surely here at Hampden tonight, to the dismay of the Scottish fans, of course. That's what I was talking about, how good Scotland have been at Hampden Park in recent weeks and months, even years. Under Steve Clarke, it's been a real fortress for them. It's been a real massive part in Scotland's rebuild and their revamp and trying to force their way to a Euros, which they're certainly going to see, I'm sure. They won't get the qualification confirmation tonight, but they go to Spain next month, and that will certainly be the perfect place to qualify for Euro 2024 for Scotland. But they will have to wait till October, because Norway are 2-0 up against Georgia, and there's round about a few moments just left in that one to go. It's unlikely that Georgia will score 2 goals in the space of extra time, but you never know. If they do, Scotland will qualify, but very unlikely. Robertson to take this throw in for Scotland. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes to go, and Scotland are going to make that change beforehand, and it will be Ryan Jack and Nathan Patterson that will be coming on. Ryan Jack will be replacing Callum McGregor, so the Rangers man replacing the Celtic man. Fascinating. And it will be Aaron Hickey that is going to make way for the Everton right back Nathan Patterson. Nathan Patterson will come up against a few of these England players this weekend. Sunday game, Everton against Arsenal this Sunday, 4:30 kickoff. We're looking forward to that one here on LFS. You can join us for live commentary of that. Do you know the way I said a few moments ago that Georgia won't be able to score 2 goals in added time against Norway? Well, they've just got one, and you never know. 91st minute, it is 2-1 Norway and Georgia, and it's Budu Zivzivaze. I butchered that, but Georgia have a goal back. If they get another one, Scotland will qualify for Euro 2024. Maybe I've scotted it for Georgia. Who knows? England had a wayward chance there, simply caught by Angus Gunn. And we just hit the 90 minutes. We'll see how long will be added on. If the referee's going to add anything, he will. He will add 3 minutes on to the end of this second half then. With England 3-1 to the good. Speaking of 3-1, Sweden have got a goal back against Austria. It's 3-1 in that one. A 5th goal for the game for Belgium. They have a 5th tonight. They lead 5-0 now against Estonia in that one. And Switzerland have doubled their lead against Andorra. It is now 2-0 to Switzerland in that game. Still 0-0 between Israel and Belarus in that one. Looks like it will be a 0-0 draw in that one, unless there's late drama in Israel this evening. I'm keeping a real close eye on that Norway-Georgia game, because you actually never know. We've seen more dramatic things happen, and we don't want to miss Scotland qualifying for Euro 2024. If it happens tonight, we don't want to miss it, because we're here at Hampden Park. It will be a big occasion if they do so. Still 2-1 to Norway in that one, and they're into the last minute of the 93 added on in that one. So we will see. But Georgia scored with their only goal, or the only shot on target. That free kick from England is straight back to Scotland. Keeping a real close eye on that game in Oslo between Norway and Georgia. Into the last few seconds of that game, it will be a Hail Mary if they need it. They need to do it now. It's now or never for Georgia. Before that comes to a close, Scotland just holding the ball up here with around about a minute of this game to go. here at Hampden. Norway have just had a shot off target there by Ola Solbakken. So we will see. We've played over the 93 minutes in Norway at the moment with the scoreline 2-1. You never know. There'll be some result if it happens. What a result it would be, but it's finished in the Spain game. Spain have absolutely destroyed Cyprus 6-0 in Spain tonight, and it is full time between Norway and Georgia. It's not going to be qualification for Scotland tonight, but they're very, very close to it. A win against Spain in October would certainly confirm that one. Norway just eking out the victory against Georgia, who got a late consolation. 2-1 it finished in Oslo there. Still all playing around the grounds everywhere else at the moment. Last few seconds here at Hampden. We will wrap up the latest scores and the final scores from around Europe as the final full-time whistle goes here at Hampden Park. And England have won this international friendly. The international friendly with the most rivalry on it tonight. England have the result in their favour. 3-1 win over Scotland. Goals in the first half from Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden. Scotland got a goal back through a Harry Maguire own goal, but it was Harry Kane that wrapped it all up for England with the third goal of the night for them. 3-1 England. Right, let's then, as that game has just finished, we can bring you all the scores from the Euro 2024 qualifiers just before we leave you tonight. These are all the games and fixtures at the moment. I'll tell you the games that have just finished. So Norway have beaten Georgia by 2-1. Spain have beaten Cyprus by 6-0. I forgot to change that. Apologies. 6-0 it finished to Spain there. Italy, Ukraine is still going. Malta, North Macedonia is also still going. Belgium have just finished their game. 5-0 winners over Estonia. It was Charles de Ketelaere with the 5th and final goal from Belgium there. Massive victory for them. A really good victory for Belgium. In that group. Underway, still going in all the other games. Italy have just eked out the win in England's group against Ukraine. 2-1 it is finished to Italy in that one. That's just gone full time. We have 5 games still going at the moment, but of course Romania-Kosovo was interrupted in the first half of that game. That is only half time at the moment, so that will run for a lot longer. But we'll not keep you up to date with that. We're not going to get live commentary of Romania against Kosovo, no offence, but by the way, Kosovo down to 10. And a late goal. I mentioned it. I think I've got some magic powers or something, because I said Israel, it would end a 0-0 draw between Israel and Belarus unless there was late drama. There has been late drama. In the 93rd minute, Gabi Kanikovsky with the goal to win it for Israel. Fantastic result for them, and that puts them into the top 2 of that group, ahead of Romania, who are drawing with Kosovo. 1-0 to Israel in that one. It's still playing. And those 4 games, 3-0 Switzerland now against Andorra in that one. They have done all the work in the second half. And Xherdan Shaqiri with the 93rd minute penalty to wrap it all up. Granit Xhaka was also on the score sheet there for Switzerland, got their second goal of the night. 3-0 to Switzerland. Right, those are the latest scores as you can see them. Belgium 5, Estonia 0, Israel 1, Belarus 0, Italy 2, Ukraine 1, Malta 0, North Macedonia 2, still underway, Norway 2, Georgia 1, Romania and Kosovo is goalless, that's just gone half time in that one. Spain 6, Cyprus 0, Sweden 1, Austria 3 has just finished right there this second, and Switzerland 3, Andorra 0. That is your coverage of Scotland against England and all the updates from the Euro qualifiers. We'll be back with domestic football on Friday night as Southampton host Leicester City as domestic football returns Friday 8 o'clock at St Mary's. Do join us for then. But for now, have a very good night and I hope you enjoyed the stream. See you very shortly. See you very soon.
Catch me if I fall.